God's masterpiece. Moses. This is Moses.
Heyo.
Moses was an Israelite boy born in Egypt in a time when Israelite boys were not supposed to live.
Wait, huh?
The Israelites were slaves to the Egyptians. But God had a special plan for Moses,
Oh, eh?
and he spent his childhood in the palace of the Pharaoh. You see, when Moses grew up, he made a big mistake.
Uh-oh.
Pharaoh found out what Moses had done, and he tried to have Moses killed.
Ah!
So Moses ran away from Egypt. He stopped in the land of Midian, and 7 sisters came to the well to give water to their father's flock. Some shepherds came to drive them away,
Hey, you.
but Moses stood up for the women.
Hey. Ow.
Now these sisters were the daughters of the Midianite priest named Jethro. When Jethro heard what Moses did for his daughters, he sent for Moses. So Moses came to live among the Midianites, and he married Zipporah, one of Jethro's daughters.
Huh?
Meanwhile, back in Egypt, the old Pharaoh died, but he was replaced by a new Pharaoh who continued to treat the Israelites poorly.
Oh, man.
The Israelites cried out to God because of the terrible things that the Pharaoh made them do. God heard these people and knew it was time to act. One day, Moses was tending Jethro's flock when an angel of the Lord appeared to Moses through a burning bush that would not burn up.
Whoa.
Moses stopped to look at the bush, and he heard the voice of God say, "Moses, Moses."
Hello?
God then told Moses how sad he was because of the suffering of his people. He told Moses that he wanted to do something about it, and he wanted Moses to be the one to do it.
Oh, man.
But Moses did not think he was the right person to go. God said, "I will be with you."
Morning.
But Moses said that he wouldn't know the right thing to say to the people. So God said to tell the people that God himself had sent him and promised Moses that his plan would be fulfilled through Moses. But Moses still said to God that he did not think the people would believe him. So God said, "What is that in your hand?"
Oh, okay.
Moses said, "A staff." God told Moses to throw it on the ground.
Wow, okay.
Then God told Moses to catch it. God showed Moses another sign
Huh? Phew.
and told him to show these signs to the people if they did not believe what he said. Moses still didn't think he would have the right words to say, but God said that he himself was the one who made a man's mouth and gave him the ability to speak, so there was no need to worry. Yet even after all this, Moses said, "God, please send someone else." Then God got mad at Moses,
Oops.
and said that he would send Moses' brother Aaron to speak for Moses. So Moses went back to his father-in-law and told him that he needed to go back to Egypt. Moses and his family started their journey back to Egypt, and Moses carried the staff of God in his hand, for this staff would be the tool God would use to demonstrate his awesome power to the Israelites and to the Egyptians.
Skills with Pastor Steve. This is awesome! I'm so excited! I love art!
Hey guys, welcome back to Mad Art Skills with Pastor Steve. I'm Pastor Steve and I'm about to show you some mad art skills. You're welcome. And guys, when I'm done with you, you are going to be a primo artist. You're going to be able to do things that other people can only dream about. And you learned it right here at Mad Art Skills. Today, I'm going to teach you a different type of painting. This is called texture painting. It's kind of complicated, but I think you guys can get it. I've got all my equipment here. You just take your brushes and you're going to choose a very specific brush. It's not symmetrical. Let me just show you what I mean. All right, looks like I don't have any brushes here, but hey, that's okay. How do I have an art studio and no brushes? Okay, all right, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. It's okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna finger paint. I'm gonna teach you how to do this with finger painting. And I think you guys are gonna like this. And it's not just you think, oh, you're just gonna stick your finger in it and you're just gonna rub it on the paper. No, it's not like that. When you do this, you wanna make sure that you do it in the right way. That's what texture painting is all about. Texture painting is about, doing it with texture. You take each finger, like for example, take the thumb and you want to just lightly stroke the page with your thumb. And then maybe use one of your fingers and you do the same thing. And you want to create this sort of textured brush. I'll be real honest with you here. This is dumb. I'm bored out of my mind. Who cares about finger painting? So, everybody's done finger painting, but how many of you have done toe painting? Yeah, toe painting. That's what we're gonna do, son. Now, and remember, you saw it right here at Mad Art Skills with Pastor Steve. You saw it here first. You're gonna need some toes, so ow, Charlie horse, I felt that one. It's important to stretch before you toe paint. Okay, now, I'm gonna put a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, all right? And you're gonna, it's okay. It's okay, I'm fine. You want to make sure you keep your balance too. Toe painting is not for the faint of heart. We get a little bit of that, Oh, look at that, huh? Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen? What? We're gonna invert that garbage. What? That just happened. I'm just gonna say it. I think I've outdone myself. Toe painting. Who knew, right? I invented something simply because I didn't have the right equipment. So I improvised and created, clearly, a masterpiece. Now, we saw in our story today with Moses that God had chosen Moses, called him to do something very special. But Moses didn't think he was equipped. Now, equipped means that you have everything that you need to do what's been asked of you. And that's where we get the word equipment. So if you've got the right equipment, you've got the right tools to do what you need to do. I didn't have the right equipment, but I found a way to paint anyway, with your toes. Moses didn't think that he could do what God was calling him to do. But what he didn't realize was God had equipped him. It didn't look the way Moses thought it should, but Moses was equipped. Moses had everything that he needed in order to do what God's called him to do. And as God's masterpiece, you are equipped. Did you know that God created you, formed you, shaped you very specially, and he gave you everything you need to do what he's called you to do? Now, the way God's equipped you will look different than your friends, but God equipped you very specifically because he chose you to do something very special. So in those moments where you think, man, I just can't do what other people can do. I don't know how God can use me. Well, of course he can, because you are his masterpiece. He created you and he equipped you to do something very special. And God's going to use you in a very special way. You are God's masterpiece and you are equipped. I can't wait to see what happens next time you join me for Mad Art Skills with Pastor Steve, because it's going to get real again. Love you guys. Go paint something with your feet. See you next time.